Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of What to Watch with MotoRuxin. I am MotoRuxin, and for this very special review, we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, which is why I'm wearing this dino head, but I'm taking it off because it's hot. So now, how exactly have I seen it already? It was surprisingly Regal's Monday Mystery Movie yesterday. And on those special Monday showings, Regal previews movies that are not yet out in theaters, but you don't actually know what the movie is going to be until you show up. Thus, the mystery part. But this one was a rare occurrence where they purposefully leaked it early, so the theater was packed. They were actually searching bags for recording devices as people were walking in. And when they did announce what the movie was going to be, people applauded, which my husband hates, and he joked he was going to walk out, but we didn't. So I was one of those lucky moviegoers who got to see this movie before it premieres on July 2nd. So I'm going to do my best to avoid spoilers and just go over the general talking points. So yes, don't worry about major spoilers. So Jurassic World Rebirth is a sci-fi action adventure, specifically, according to IMDb, a dinosaur adventure. Not a spoiler. And let me go ahead and put this up. It is the 7th feature-length Jurassic Park film. It's the 4th Jurassic World movie. And I didn't even realize, but apparently there's a Jurassic Park short film that came out in 2019 called Battle at Big Rock, which you can actually watch on YouTube. So I did just before I started this because I hadn't heard of it, and I was like, what even is that? And actually I was able to find as well this really fun timeline. So Jurassic World Rebirth actually takes place 5 years after Dominion, which now these aren't the years they came out. This is the year that in real time that these are supposed to have happened. So technically Jurassic World Rebirth doesn't take place for 2 more years in today's timeline of actual years. It is directed by Gareth Edwards, who has also directed Godzilla, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and The Creator, which was only a couple years ago, and that was like a really good movie. I think it got nominated for sound editing. I think it even won. I'm pretty sure I got that one right. All right. So yeah, so technically 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion and 2 years from now in 2027 is when it takes place. Our major actors in this are, of course, Scarlett Johansson, who, no introduction needed. She's Black Widow herself. You've got Jonathan Bailey, who's Bridgerton and Wicked. He's really hot right now. And you got Mahershala Ali, who was in Moonlight and won that won the Oscar for Best Picture in 2017. We also have, let's see, oh, well, of course, Jonathan Bailey's slutty little glasses apparently are a whole thing right now. There was an interview with him about how people are talking about his slutty little glasses, and he's loving it apparently. And then yeah, here's another picture because there's also a character called Martin Krebs, who's played by Rupert Friend, this guy here on the left, who apparently was Mr. Wickham in 2005's Pride and Prejudice, you know, the one that everybody loves, Matthew McFadden, and of course Keira Knightley. It's my favorite version and probably one of my favorite movies. And then I'm not going to go into too many of the other characters. There's also Ruben Delgado, is a character played by Manuel Garcia Rulfo. He's been in The Magnificent Seven and Murder on the Orient Express. He plays the dad in this little family that they get tied up with stuff. But not to go into too much detail about, that, because I don't want to, spoil all of that things. I'll just go into, the major plot points. So, basically, there's an expedition that's put together by Martin Krebs, who is Mr. Wickham, who works for medical guys. Team's made up of Scarlett, Jonathan, and Ali's characters, which would be Zora Bennett, Dr. Henry Loomis, and Duncan Kincaid. Scarlett's character is the mercenary. She's there to keep him safe. Dr. Henry Loomis, he's the one there to identify the dinos. He's the smart doctor. And then you got Duncan Kincaid, who's Ali's character. He's the one with the boat. So they have to go to one of the islands that are forbidden to be traveled to by all of the governments, and it's located closer to the equator where the dinosaurs are better able to thrive. The mission's simple. They're gonna extract DNA from 3 big old dinos so that they can get paid handsomely for the medical advances that the DNA could provide. They do manage to bump into a family while on course to the island. But again, I'm not going to go into too many of the how, what, whys of everything to avoid the major spoilers. But that's no different than what's shown in the trailer. But I'm gonna give it a big thumbs up. It was a lot of fun. These movies always are. It doesn't matter. You stick some dinos in there, people are gonna go. There were lots of fun Easter eggs in this one, especially, that poke back to the first movie, which isn't the first time that they've done that with the Jurassic World movies. I feel like one of them was, like, people laughed at how silly they were because there were just so many, and they were so, like, look, this. But this one was one of those where they felt like they came up more organically, and they were, like, well done and fun, and some of them were even subtle at times. And I didn't feel like they were just thrown in there just for the nostalgia alone. Like, they actually made sense in the movie. But yeah, I hit all the major ones. It's got the classic banner falling, you get some flare action, as shown there. And then, of course, the dino chase scenes. There's some fun ones that poke back to that first movie. I feel like the cast was great, very well cast. And of course, yeah, with these movies, like, the whys and hows had logical explanations, like, why go to the island? Why would there be children? Because there's always children. And so in this time, yeah, they had, like, good explanations for all of it. Like, it all seemed like, okay, that seems feasible. And then, yeah, so this time, there's always, a couple kids, but it was fun. It was, like, a good length movie, and, like, they had good timing, didn't feel, like, rushed, and it was actually probably, like, my favorite out of all of the Jurassic World series. It didn't feel, like, over the top, like it was trying too hard. It was a nice, simple, like, here's the plot, this is the mission, this is what we're doing. It wasn't trying as hard as some of the Jurassic Worlds seem to be trying. But of course, they still won't touch Jurassic Park, the original, because that's just the perfect movie. And it always will be. But if you are obsessed with the Jurassic movies, regardless of, world or park, but the majority of moviegoers and even non-moviegoers are, like, this movie is going to do very well. So be sure to see it when it officially hits theaters July 2nd. So that's it for Jurassic World Rebirth. Besides being an avid moviegoer myself, you can also catch me on Twitch, streaming cross-stitching gaming, and I'm MotoRuxin on all of the socials. So follow all the things to keep up with everything I'm doing. So until the next one, happy watching, guys!